Okay, so welcome back to another My Hero Academia Ultra Impact video. Today we're going to be doing a tier list on all the SRs that are currently in the game right now. As you guys might know, UR characters, the pull rate in the game right now is only 2%, and there's only a handful of UR characters in said banners anyway, and for some, getting a full UR team is probably unlikely, unless you sit there and reroll for a very long time. So to fill out the team, you're going to obviously have to run some SR units. And today I'm going to go through just briefly of what I consider the most valuable SRs in the game at the moment. Some of the SR characters are even better than UR characters, if I'm going to be frankly honest. So, of course, I haven't used every single SR. So, obviously, this is just all in my opinion and based on my experiences of the game right now. Of course, you might value an SR over another SR, and that's just your playstyle. And all the information that I am gathering from each SR is pretty much from the Ultra Impact Wiki, so shoutouts to them. I'll leave the link in the description if you want to check out all the SR characters in the game and read all the information on them yourselves. And one final thing before we start, what I value in SR characters is not really damage, but more of support, utility, and then if they can do damage comparable to a UR character, then I'll consider them a valuable unit. But yeah, in priority, utility, support, and then power, okay? All right, so let's start off from the top left all the way to the bottom right. No particular order or anything like that. This red Bakugo is from the USJ store. He is just like a mini blue Bakugo if you don't have him. He was valuable in VE Tower, but since VE Tower is pretty much over, like the, ranking system for this season, he's really just like a B or C character. I'll put him in C, just because, he's red, and red typing is not the most valuable. Next, we have the Ochako from the USJ store. She's actually really good. She can buff your yellow typings. She also has a action skill that supports and heals, and she decreases enemies' powers. So, at the moment, I might actually put her in the S tier, because yellow usually boosts power as well. So, that's a really good SR right there. Deku's like a mini red Deku, so the lower HP you are, the better he is. And since he's really HP restricted, I'm going to put him in the C, probably in the D, if I'm going to be, really, I guess, spread out with these rankings, because there's a lot of different tiers that we have here. Then we have the Cooking Deku. He's okay. He has a red support, and also he increases plus Ultra Gauge for the allies. In terms of damage, obviously he probably would be if you fully shard him out, be providing a lot of damage as an SR card, but other than that, he's just a red support at the end of the day, which again is not the most valuable typing at the moment. Okay, so then we have this Cooking Bakugo. He has just a lot of burn in his kit, which can be really cool, so B for him. Then we have Green Ochako. She was really good for VE Tower because she had type advantage, and Darby. She was a nice unit to verse Darby with. But in terms of her kit, she can cleanse, and then she's a 1A student, support for critical rate, which isn't all too great, but still something, I guess. But in terms of what she can do, she just increases her own crit rate, and again, power for SRs is not on my valuable list. But because she can cleanse one of your allies' debuffs and increase their Ultra Gauge, I will put her in C. Ida is trash. He's just a lot of speed, and then does an additional normal attack. And then the Cooking Eater is all about speed, which I don't find really that valuable. A lot of your enemies outspeed you anyway. It's very rare where you can plus ultra attack before your opponent's plus ultra attack. So in terms of speed, not the greatest. And then you do have to, put him in the main spot, which kind of sucks, because you obviously don't want to always put an SR in your main unit slot. So, speed buffs just doesn't matter yet. Then we got the red Todoroki. I think he's an A. He's got a low chance of freezing, medium chance of burn, and then I think one of the most important thing was the resistance to burn and freeze on all allies. That's actually very important, especially in this season of Ultra Impact where you verse Endeavor and you verse Darby, which can burn you. I'm assuming there's going to be a Todoroki boss as well, so the freeze is actually the resistance for freeze is actually going to be really good. And he can do some sort of damage as well. Remember, to do a lot of damage, you need to invest in them a lot of shards. So I wouldn't recommend it for SR cards. But if you are, have that materials, or you have the hero medals to spend, and you want to, feel free to, I guess. Also, I forgot about the other SR Todoroki, the purple typing one. He's pretty much in the same tier, A tier. He has the damage reduction for all allies with his action skill, and he's got that medium chance to freeze and the low chance to burn, which is always good to have. But most of the time, the Yua Todoroki outplays this guy. Froppy is okay. She has camouflage, which means she has like dodge chance. But other than that, that's pretty much it. She has crit rate debuff, which does help like some units who can do extra damage if the enemy has crit rate debuff, like the SR All Might. But in terms of like usage, she's okay, I guess. This Mineta is reliant on females to be on your team. I don't think there's a lot of like good female reps at the moment. Like Ochako is like one of the best, and then like Blue Momo, but then you don't really run this guy if you're using Blue Momo anyway, because he's a green type. But he does have hide, which is like you can't be targeted, which is pretty good, and he has a medium constraint. So actually, I'll put him in high. You know what? I'll put him maybe later when there's more females, but because he relies on a lot of females. But because of his hide ability and his constraint ability, that could help you in tougher boss fights. This Mineta is an S tier. This guy lowers enemies' power by millions, man. It's plus ultra attack, and both of his action skill decrease the enemy's power, which is absolutely insane. If you do have a female on the team, then he does, boost himself up a little bit. But yeah, the most important thing is that he can debuff, which is absolutely crazy. This Kirishima is pretty good as well. He's a 1A student power support, and there's obviously a lot of 1A students in the roster right now. He's like a mini red Kirishima, except he does not have taunt, which is one of the biggest factors why he's not the best SR. If he did have taunt, he would have been perfect. He has a lot of damage cut. It's just that when you have 3 characters on the field, he just doesn't always get hit, which means his damage cut doesn't really matter too much. It's kind of like the green Ochako, like she has the counters, but she doesn't have the taunt, which means like, her counter ability could be wasted, But for the most part, because of that support and he has damage reduction, which means he's going to be alive for a long time, he should be fine. Cooking Kirishima is really good as well. I'm going to put him... Oh, man. I'm going to put him A because he's red support, which max HP for 10%, which is not the best, but... he decreases enemies' power with his plus ultra. He gives damage reduction to all your allies for 2 turns, which is insane. And then he has his own action skill that reduces his own damage received by 30%. So actually very, very good tanking-wise and support as well. Just I wish red was a little bit more prevalent as a typing. Then we have Green Momo. She actually has taunt with her, but she has no damage reduction. So I'll put her an A, I think. Instead of damage reduction, she has like... increases her own defense, and then she also increases allies' power by 15%. Yeah, we'll put her A. I don't feel like, ranking like from left to right or anything, so if they're just an A tier, they're just an A tier, to be honest. Actually, you know what? Because she buffs up greens as well, I'm going to put her low S, actually. Because she has had that taunt, and she has damage reduction, I just realized. And then she has her own increased defense. So, yeah, like if you have her full auto skills and full ability, she's actually really good. Okay, then we have the yellow Momo. She's a healer. I like healers a lot, especially because there's not that many. We've gone through like 15 already, and like we've only seen one healer other than Momo. So this yellow Momo is really good because she gives a barrier to an ally, which means they get 1 free hit, and increases the power of that one ally for 3 turns by 25%, which is insane. And then she has blindness from her ultra, and then the heals. So she'll be an A. You know what? I'm gonna put her S2. She's actually pretty good. It's just that the give barrier. You know what? I'm putting her high A. I just think the barrier, because it's random allies, it is tough. But yeah, for most of it, she's really good. Then we have Tokiyami here. He's just a damage dealer with extra normal attacks, so he is kind of just mid, like C. He's not useless, but we don't value power over here. Then we have Cooking Kaminari. He's just a paralysis guard, medium chance through his ultra attack, low chance through his action skills, and he's got some decent damage power. But other than that, if you don't need paralysis, he's like here. He's like there. Then we have Jiro here, the Rockstar Jiro, I think. I don't know what you call this version when in her normal clothes. She has confusion, and she's a blue support for max HP. Confusion, meh. It can be good, but since it's only through her ultra attack, she's not really consistent with the confusion. And if you miss, then you're probably, as an SI, she's probably dead after that. She does increase allies' crit rates, but, you know, that's not the most important stat to increase. All Might, because you are able to farm his full shards fairly easy, I'm going to put him high A as because he's good with damage. He just needs to rely on another character to debuff. And in terms of UR characters, there isn't that many. You know, UR Air Force Deku is probably like the prime candidate. But if you don't have him, then you have to run another SR, which means you have to have 2 SRs on the main team, which is not optimal at all. Present Mike, I think, is actually a high B tier. He's got confusion, and he can increase allies' attack power by 20% for 3 turns, which is insane. That's pretty much it. The confusion, again, is only from the plus ultra, and then the action skill gives the allies power by 20%. It's not permanent, which is why he's a little bit B. I would put him in A if he had something else, but yeah, that's pretty much it there. Then we have Endeavor here. The only Endeavor, he's just got a burn chance. Like, everything has burn, which is good. And then his second auto skill, pretty much any unit that attacks him gets burn as well. And burn is actually a pretty strong mechanic. So I'm going to put him in low A, or just A. Extra damage is always nice. Gran Torino's kind of bad. He's in D tier, surely. He's just like a speed guy as well. So, again, when you rely on speed, it's not the greatest there. Kurogiri is just a dodge guy. He has dodge from his plus ultra and then his action skill. Unfortunately, it's his plus ultra is only for 1 turn, which means if there's 3 characters on the team, you know, he doesn't really guarantee himself of invasion. But the action skill is really good because it's 1 hit guaranteed. Doesn't even matter. It's not restricted by a turn. But yeah, other than that, if you just need somebody to survive, he's there. But yeah, he's a League of Villains HP support, not that great yet. So I'll put him in C. I'll put him high C. No, I'll put him B. I'll put him B, and then I'm gonna lower these 2 because I don't think they deserve it. Next, we have Stain. Stain has the bleed, which is kind of just like burn. He also can do fear. I think fear is one of the craziest freaking debuffs that you can do to the enemy. Plus constraint. But if you do have like a full villain team, this guy is amazing. So I will put him in A just because he relies on a little bit of villains. If not, then like, you know, he doesn't do as much damage as you would like to, or have not that much HP and whatnot. But like, I love his debuffs. His debuffs are insane. Darby is next, and I feel like he's just like another one of Endeavor, like an Endeavor clone. He just burns, but he can actually burn himself, so he actually hurts himself. But because of his second auto skill, he actually increases his own power by 25% when burnt. But, you know, as an SI, he's not that great. He can cleanse himself after, so he doesn't have to be burnt forever. But, yeah, just the burn himself. He might not last for a very long time, and he's just somebody who can do damage. But the high chance of burn is pretty good. I would say he is in the B. For our 4th last unit, we have Toga. She has the bleed effect through her plus ultra, but that's about it. I don't think anything's crazy from her, so she's a C. She's not entirely useless, I guess. Muscular is an S tier. He has taunt, he has barrier at the start of the game for 2 turns, which is absurd if I say so myself. You know, he's a tank, and he can reduce damage as well when he taunts, which is like, if you need like 2 free turns is absolutely crazy. As long as you're not versing an AoE enemy, like, this guy is crazy good. Then we have Kaminari from the USJ store. He has 2 paralysis skills, and then just like Todoroki, if he's like underneath 30% HP, paralyze the enemy that attacks you for 1 turn, which is okay. It's kind of like just where Todoroki is, but because it's low chance, it's not that reliable. He's actually from the VE store, not the USJ store, my bad. But yeah, still, if you need somebody to paralyze, that's the guy. And then the last Jiro right here, in her actual hero outfit, she has 2 confusers, and she can heal as well. So she's very solid if you need the confusion for, you know, free hits. and the heal back, just in case you get hurt a little bit. So she's an A as well. Also, she can provide plus ultra gauge for everyone. So she's a nice little fuel unit. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm not gonna really think too hard over 30 different SR units, but that's just from reading the characters info, this is what I think is the SR tier list. Let me know if you think something's wrong, if you think somebody should be higher because blah blah blah. Let me know in the comment section. If you guys enjoyed today's video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate it. We have daily Ultra Impact videos, so make sure you have the notification bell on so you don't miss out on the daily uploads. Anyway, check out all my social medias, link in the description. I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. As per usual, stay healthy, stay safe, stay fizzy. Peace out.